the Microsoft Theater here in downtown Los Angeles.
I couldn't imagine.
Brought to you by Shawn Porter Promotions.
Is that what I'm known for? Taking everybody to church?
You're like, what was that group? Hosier? Is that the song? Take Me to Church?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't remember. I don't know
Shout
the
to
name.
Lecrae,
But yeah. My dude said, "Have you ever taken Carson to church?"
I went to church growing up all the time.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Once upon a time, didn't you want to be?
Yeah, I enjoyed it, and then as I got older, it just really wasn't my
Yeah.
thing.
Like I remember when right along when I first met you, you told me that you have thought about becoming a pastor. Am I wrong?
Yeah, it wasn't a long phase thought.
No.
Yeah,
It was like when I first met you though. Yeah. That's why we still friends.
Oh,
I feel like it was.
Yeah, I saw
inspired by,
I saw the good heart.
like Rev Run or
I
something.
could not see that in him.
Yeah, not now.
No, especially not now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't know him that well back in the day. So when he told me, I was like, oh, this is an aspiring
Yeah, I
young
feel like
man.
it was Rev Run and Rev from Remember the Titans, and I was influenced.
That's crazy.
You're back in Vegas?
Yes, sir. Back in Vegas.
Smoky Las Vegas.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Porterweight Podcast. Sean, Ant, and Carson. We don't have Sean Zeitel today. He will be back with us ASAP. No biggie. We can handle it.
We'll see.
We can handle it.
It all falls on Carson.
Oh man,
He don't let a white dude on the show.
right. I have to carry the
Yeah,
baton.
the torch. Yeah,
Okay. Olympic torch.
yeah. You didn't look. Yeah,
Tokyo Olympics. Huh?
Man, I had a good time doing that. I know last week I shouted these guys. I'm gonna do it one more time. Shout out to my co-host Kenny Rice. I just thought that he was fantastic. Absolute joy to work with, and quarterbacking it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was cool to work with him. And I don't know if I had told you this, but I listened to him just to get familiar with who he was and how he did his thing on the on the telecast. And I was listening to the 2016 games with him and BJ Flores. Shout out to BJ.
Yeah.
And when I was listening, I was like, dang, these guys sound good. I don't know how I got this job, but I'm going to go out there and give it all I got. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we made some adjustments and we had a lot of fun. I think Kenny, he was really looking forward to working with me too, which obviously helps. And then Jake Donovan, I really wasn't too familiar with him before going. And it's weird that
He did the damn thing.
Just a couple of weeks before I went out, you started bringing up his name a lot, and he started dropping a lot of news and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, I know the name, but I'm not really familiar with him. But I mean, got plenty familiar with him from being out there. He did the research for us. He watched 200. I think last night, that last fight that we did might have been like fight 276. He watched 276 fights.
Yeah.
So, and even if it was 266 or
And
256,
it was also covering other boxing stories going on.
I mean, this dude was working nonstop, and I didn't understand how I could see him when we first went out there, and then out of nowhere he disappeared. And so I'm like texting him up, like, "Hey man, just making sure you're good. I haven't seen you in a minute." He goes like in the room where all of the TVs are, and he watches what we do. He listens to what we do, sends us notes while we're doing it. And then when we all bounce, he's staying there working on his own stuff, you know, so dedicated to the sport of boxing. Make sure y'all follow Jake Donovan. And then my producer was amazing as well, Dave Harmon. Dave Harmon has worked with HBO for a number of years, goes as far back as working with Roy when Roy basically came on the scene on HBO, and of course, worked a lot of Mike Tyson fights. Also did the Inside NFL on HBO. And I mean, again, so you talk about Kenny. So for people that don't know, when you talk about a quarterback, that's basically what Carson does. He kind of takes us to the next subject or the next fight or what's happening, so on and so forth. And so when the quarterback on the telecast is the guy who will tell the stories, and then not only that, call the action and lead you into how something happened or why it happened, so on and so forth. And David was really smooth. Dave Harmon was really smooth about getting in my ear with little suggestions, not really telling me what to say, but just little suggestions. And I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. I got you. You know what I mean? And it was a lot of fun, man. I'm getting more experience doing this, and I love it. So. And not to mention, man, I told you guys I had a good feeling about this Olympic team. We bring back 4 medals.
Yeah.
What we get? 3 silvers,
Two
and
silvers and
two silvers and 2 bronze.
Yeah. Yep.
Because
Duke
Reagan got bronze for sure.
Oh, he did get a bronze.
And I
Okay.
think O'Shea
And
also
O'Shea got a bronze.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
couldn't remember if O'Shea got silver or bronze.
So Duke Reagan wins bronze. Congratulations, Duke. O'Shea Jones wins.
Toledo, Ohio's own.
Yes, sir. Wins bronze. Congratulations. They did their thing.
Yeah.
And then just last night we had Keyshawn Davis. He fought for the 4th time. A really good Cuban fighter who is
He's a stud.
Yeah, he's a stud.
He is.
Sad we won't see him in the pros.
Yeah.
I hope somehow we do, but Cruz is a monster.
Yeah. I can't tell with him.
Cuban is wasting talent. But can he do this for 12 rounds?
Yeah.
That was my
the
thing too.
Yeah, that's the thing. And they're kind of known for not being able to kind of produce over the course of an entire fight. Very good with the amateur system and things like that. And, over the course of a 12-round championship fight, a lot of times
I was just thinking
really
that you slept in the 12th round against a Cuban fighter. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Was that the 12th round? That wasn't even the 12th round.
It was the 11th to the 12th.
Yeah.
But
It was early.
no, it was late for sure.
No, I mean like 8, 9.
Oh, yeah, well, I don't know. But yeah, I think I personally think his style would translate, but like Ant said, we have no clue if it would or not.
Yeah.
I feel like he
would
maximizes
expect it to.
3 rounds.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and honestly, and that's why you see some guys. We always talk about that the Olympics and the amateur system can produce these great pros, but also there are guys that are built for the amateurs. Like if Cruz hypothetically, like you say, he maximizes. He's giving you the business 1 through 3 because he knows I don't have to see a 4th round, so I'm good.
And on the other side of that, you got Keyshawn Davis, who is going to be a really good professional.
What I tell y'all last night, pound for pound, couple
He's
years.
going to be a really
I'm saying
good
pound for pound.
professional fighter. The first thing you say when a fighter makes that transition from the Olympics into professional ranks is, does he have an amateur style and is it going to translate? Keyshawn Davis had an amateur style, has transitioned it into a professional style, and is going to translate.
Yeah.
So he won a silver medal last night.
We're not too old, but he's like these younger guys, and he can carry it outside the ring. He's good outside the ring for boxing.
Yeah.
That's when he's gonna get one day he's gonna get going.
Yeah.
And he's gonna go.
I told Jake Donovan last night before we all cut out, I was like, man, this new era of fighters is different. And it's good for boxing and I was speaking to what you just said.
You guys was more laid back, like this. Our time is coming. Let Floyd and Manny do their thing.
Yeah,
they're like, no, I'm coming.
When we interviewed him on the special episode, he kind of just has an it factor about him, and he's just kind of funny. Yeah, he's got a great personality. We'll definitely get him back on. But he, and to hype up Andy Cruz isn't to say it was a close fight. Like nobody watching that fight was like, oh, Cruz blew the doors off of him. I think the first and the third were close. The second wasn't close.
Right.
Which Keyshawn smashed him in the second.
Right.
So I think it was close. I thought Cruz won, but not like.
Did y'all watch a lot of the fights? I know you were watching on the app. The points, like, did you? I'm still don't know how this. I was
judging it just like regular boxing.
Yeah, like regular boxing.
There's 5 scores and like this one doesn't count. It seems like it's very strange, but
we didn't touch on it in the championship fights.
Probably
but
wise.
Earlier through, I was trying to figure it out, and then I went from trying to figure it out to just trying to reassure the audience that it was right.
And they were killing me. If I see somebody in the pros go like this. After you hit somebody,
that's hilarious.
Yeah,
and they were doing way too much.
I was like, you didn't even land, bro.
Yeah,
you didn't even land.
And then Cruz would do it. And then Keyshawn's like, oh, me too. Yeah, I'm like, wait, you didn't
both
throw
of
a
them,
punch.
both of them on that Me Too stuff.
Yeah. I'm like, he didn't even throw a punch. He was like, Mr. Me Too. He threw it. And he's like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll do that too.
I kept that in the bag because I was like, at some point, I want to be able to acknowledge what these Cubans do, but I wanted to be at a moment where
it's natural.
Not that it's natural, but a moment that people, like a lot of people are gonna hear it.
Yeah.
Because prior to last night, our stuff was on USA. You coming in between rounds and all that kind of stuff. And so something told me to keep it in the bag. I didn't know Keyshawn was gonna do that. Yeah. But it's smart.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that it happened. I'm glad that he did it because it's a subliminal message to the judges that I've landed a punch and I'm winning the fight. And so back in the day when I was in the amateurs, you would have judges around the ring, and there was always 2 judges on one side of the ring, and then there's one on each other side, and they would try to teach us how to box where the 2 judges could see us no matter what, and then we might get 1 or 2 of the other judges to see our punches. But when you have your back to those 2 judges, they always didn't want our back to the judges.
Right.
And it's like, yo, you get in the ring, and it's like, I'm fighting. But the thing that the Cubans did that separated themselves, some other fighters, other countries do it too, is throwing a hand up.
Which is hilarious.
You don't know if a punch is landed, but the hand going up is this subliminal message that the punch lands. And it works.
That's what I guess is making me smile about it, is as a judge, you're just like, he put his hand up.
Yeah. And so Keyshawn, I just thought that it was brilliant
good move,
of Keyshawn to at least try to keep up.
Why not?
And it impressed me because that was something that I was going to take back to the Olympic program. Like, hey, maybe you may want to teach these amateurs that are fighting these really experienced amateur / professional medalists that do some of the things that they do.
Yeah.
Beat them at their own game.
Sure.
And I thought that Keyshawn came to the ring with that, and I'm like, damn, this kid is smart.
It's like a win in Rome.
Yeah.
Like if
The
those guys
only
are
time I
successful.
was just looking this up. The only time I ever seen this was Mikey Garcia, Earl Spence. After every round, Mikey would go. And I remember watching the fight with Shane Jr. I'm like, what's he doing?
Yeah.
He's like, he's trying to say he won it.
Yeah.
It's like something from the Olympics. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? And Mikey was in the Olympics.
Narrator voice. It didn't work for Mikey.
Yeah, I'm like, Mikey, you're not winning, bro. But
Yeah.
it was that was the only time I ever seen it.
Yeah.
I thought that fight was really fun, really close. And then the other fight, it was funny, both U.S. finals ended up being rivalries.
Yeah.
For that term.
Yeah.
Obviously Cruz and Keyshawn, and then Richard Torrez Jr. getting back in there with the guy that, I mean, he knocked him.
He rocked him one time.
Clean out. He did, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
The first fight. He knocked him clean out.
He clacked him.
That guy's a.
I don't know what that means.
That guy's he's a grown man.
Yeah.
Like Richard Torres still. I mean,
Richard Torres is 22.
He's smaller for the weight. Like,
And Joe
great
Malave
fighter.
is 32.
I thought he was 27.
Is he?
Yeah, I thought he was just maybe 5 years older.
Shoot, let me back up.
Yeah,
Then.
I thought he was 5. I could be wrong,
Yeah.
but he's also considerably bigger.
Hey,
Yeah.
he's ready to go.
Yeah.
That dude's ready. What is he about 9? What is
He's like
he?
8-0, 7-0,
Okay.
but he's all knockouts.
He's ready to go.
So it's like
he's ready to go.
it's tough. It was the combination of you're fighting literally just a grown man,
Yeah.
who has all knockouts in his professional career, who has knocked you
This
out.
is what he do.
I thought, honestly, I was very impressed by Richard Torres, just even psychologically, to get in there, because there are guys like you get dropped or you lose. You know, you kind of want to get back. Like Richard Torres was in bad shape after that.
Yeah.
To get in there, it was a competitive fight again, but just wasn't enough.
He wasn't there to survive. He was there to fight.
Yeah.
So I had to take my hat off to him.
Listen, man, it's moments out there where when it happens, it's like you can't do anything but keep your mouth shut and salute.
Yeah.
And a humongous salute to Richard Torres. I was amazed at his poise and his confidence to do what he had to do.
Yeah.
And that's something that I pride myself on as a professional fighter. It's kind of like no matter what happens, I'm out there to do what I have to do to win this fight. And there've been some moments where eyes are busted, the whole nine, and it's like I'm still fighting, kind of fighting for my life, but for the most part, just fighting to win. And I thought it was, you can talk about the courageousness of Richard. You could talk about his ability to stay poised and confident.
Yeah.
You could talk about his heart and will and desire to, dominate the guy that once dominated him.
Yeah.
I mean, the list goes on, and something I wasn't able to say on the telecast is that at the end of the day, there's no excuses for Richard Torres.
Yeah. And I don't think he wanted them.
But we got all excuses in the world for him.
Yeah. I don't think he I don't
You know
think
what I
he
mean?
I don't think he went in there and was like,
Yeah.
if I give him a go, but like, and even to further your point, to get to do damage and potentially win the fight, he had to bring it to the guy that knocked him out.
Yeah.
So like you can't, like, this isn't a fight where, this guy knocked you out, you can kind of get him from the outside. He's just a smaller guy. You have to put yourself in risk of the same outcome happening.
If y'all didn't see the fight, you got 6'5" against 6'1". You got about roughly 225 in the 6'1" guy against 250, 260 in the 6'5" guy. And this dude, the 6'5" can thump.
Yeah.
So the 6'1" got to go at the thump.
To get there, yeah.
You gotta go at the thump.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: if you don't go at the thump, it's even worse for you because you on the end of the thump.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was just, I was.
What was the difference in reach? Because it seemed like he would, and the dude still would be able to hit. I'm like,
yeah.
Damn, this dude has like 80 inch.
Yeah. And honestly, in Richard Torrez, he got caught very clean a couple times against the standing 8 count ones.
Yeah.
But he stayed on his feet.
But he caught him once.
Absolutely.
And ever since Shawn said he had, like he said that you said what Richard said, like he don't carry power in this. He was knocking guys in the Olympics.
Yeah.
For the last couple of fights.
Yeah.
He started knocking people.
If he had won that fight, he would have been the outstanding boxer of the Olympic Games.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If he had won that fight, because leading up to, I mean, he beat a Cuban the fight prior to in a tough fight, and he
like
ended up
broke a dude's face.
He ended up boxing the Cuban, and then before that, I'm not sure who he fought, but he knocked out somebody. He had a very dominant performance at the Olympic Games, and you know, I don't want to, because I'm never about praising losing
Moral victories.
or moral victories.
Yeah.
But I think as a whole, the USA Olympic team had a humongous moral victory.
Absolutely.
And not just because we got 4 medals opposed to the one that we got last quad, or the two
Shakur and
two that we
Clarissa.
got the quad before that. Yeah, Clarissa and Shakur. You know, we have not been able to produce medals, and I told those men and women to go over there and bring us some medals back. And they brought back 4.
Yeah.
But the performances in the meantime were very good performances.
4 good on the surface level, and then even if you look in the specific instances, I think that was great. They did well, and now we're starting to heat back up with professional boxing. Too. Chris Algieri was back in the ring.
Oh, let him out the bag.
Yeah,
we ain't go get him on.
Promo first, real quick. Oh yeah, you're right. I should have got him on.
Oh man, I was looking. I swear to God,
Let him out of the cage.
I was looking. I was going to say that. I was going to say, Carson, you can go, or I can go, because one of us going to say it.
One of us was going to say it for sure.
Hey, it's like a shot.
Yeah, because he'll come on if he ain't got nothing cracking. He'll come on.
Yeah, he looked good. Of the guys, and we'll touch on some of the other ones that came back after some layoffs or older. He looked good, dominated the guy. Michael Hunter did his thing.
Michael, why Mike
got their boots smoked?
Oh man, that was wild. Hey, I wasn't watching it for a minute, then I got on it. Oh, it was live, Carson.
The locks.
That was live.
That was the biggest blowout.
I gave up on it, man. I shouldn't have gave up on it, huh?
It
took a minute to like get it, you know, for them to set it up and all that kind of stuff. I was like,
one of the boldest musical decisions I've ever heard was while we were waiting for the start was delayed.
Yeah,
what it should have been.
We can't even. Are we prepared to have him come in?
Yeah, he's prepared.
Are we prepared? All right,
he can make it happen. But so they had
delayed the start.
Yeah, so the start,
black people.
So maybe, but the start.
Don't agree with that, Carson.
No, I'm just saying.
You can't agree with that.
I don't. He said that's the reason. I have no reason to agree or disagree. But so they have these DJs playing this set. So they're in New York at the Mecca, Madison Square Garden, and the DJ plays "Hit 'Em Up."
Yeah.
You got nervous?
Before the show.
You got nervous?
Yeah, like this is a whole crowd of New Yorkers.
Yeah.
And you play one of the more vulgar, like disrespectful diss tracks in history.
Right.
New York rapper.
Right.
And he just like spun it for a little bit, and everyone was like, "Yo, like that's a good way to get the absolute breaks beat off." But now Locks did it. Jadakiss, legend.
What's up, fans? We want to introduce our first official sponsor for the Porterweight podcast, Ultimate Sack.
Yeah, Ultimate Sack. I have the actual Ultimate Sack 6000, and it's
6,000, huh?
Yeah, 6,000. What do you have? I think you got 6,000 too.
I got about 4 or 5 for your kids, your dogs, your family, old people, young people. Anybody can get on it. My kids love it. So do I. I'm a big kid at heart, so I'm always jumping on my Ultimate Sack.
And I don't have kids yet, but I have a dog. My dog loves it. Stays on the Ultimate Sack all times. I've had people come over the house, drunk, not drunk, pass out on it. It's one of my go-to sleeping spots also. Very comfortable.
Check it out. We have a Ultimate Sack promo code for you. TPW Sack 15. Get online, ultimatesack.com. Order your Ultimate Sack today. You get 15% off.
And compared to the leading competitors, Ultimate Sack is way cheaper. I guarantee you.
Cheaper and better.
Yep.
Get your sack.
Get your Ultimate Sack and get your sack right.
But so that was earlier this week. We have the locks did their thing on the Triller fight, and then Fight Camp 2, week 2 at Eddie Hearn's backyard.
Smooth, man.
It's a nice look.
It's smooth.
It's
over
a nice
there.
look, and apparently the weather was a little dodgy. It rained a little bit, and so he was a little nervous.
How do you get this news?
I was watching the fights yesterday.
Oh, I didn't see it rain.
I was thinking that
No,
too.
I heard it directly from Eddie Hearn. He was like, "Yeah, it rained. There was a rainbow at some point."
You got to say it like him. You can't.
I love Eddie Hearn.
Ever since him and Eddie Hearn have a conversation in the elevator, it's been a whole different vibe for Carson.
I was a fan of Eddie Hearn before that. I'm just an Eddie Hearn fan. He comments a little too much on negotiations, just from my perspective.
We AH fans around here, baby.
Absolutely. But the
We Eddie Hearn fans too.
yeah, Eddie Hearn, yeah, he's a solid guy.
We Bobby fans too. Then if we don't keep going,
We boxing
let's not
fans.
get
If you're doing the dang thing, we gonna acknowledge it.
yeah, they're non-biased. But go ahead,
yeah.
Carson.
No, so it was a nice little event. Ebony Bridges got the win, got a stoppage win. And then
Carson, you said I'm waiting to see if she got some power.
yeah, because
and
she's very much like she's obviously a pressure fighter, and we saw that against Shannon Courtney. But I was wondering, like, can she really thump? And she got the girl out of there. But so yeah, she gets the win. So there was a heavyweight fight. I was telling you guys
that
about.
heavyweight fight was crazy.
It was crazy. Alan Babbage, the Savage.
Carson said, basically, Carson texted me and said, none of these guys been in the Olympics.
No, there was no defense on display. It was just two strong dudes, one more than the other, just tagging them, and he ends up getting him out of there. But he was hitting him with some shots.
Yeah.
And he was putting up number. I can't remember what the CompuBox numbers were, but he was throwing like a lot. Like, he's a heavyweight. He's a smaller heavyweight, but he was throwing a lot of punches for a heavyweight.
Right.
He was putting up some numbers while he was in there. But he gets the win. Proposes to his girlfriend after,
Okay.
which was nice.
Okay. Trying to do that at Eddie house. We at Eddie
Yeah,
house.
why not? Yeah, nice little.
Hey, somebody proposed to that girl at my house one time. Disrespectful.
Yeah, true. Took
I can't never
away from the whole
propose.
night.
That's
Yeah,
wild.
ruined the whole night. But
I did what I had to do.
the other heavyweight
I was
fight
nervous
was
as hell.
yeah, nobody knew. Yeah, we were just in the middle of jamming to some karaoke. The other heavyweight fight wasn't too noteworthy. Fabio Wardley got early stoppage, but the main event was ugly.
Yeah.
And he's kind of an ugly fighter, to be fair. Kid Galahad. He's known, and Warrington, who fought him previously mentioned, he's known for stepping on your feet. Mm-hmm. Seems to be intentional if you're known for it. But it's just not like a clean night, which
That's funny. He's known for stepping on your feet.
Hey, our one boy from
they needed
Chicago.
the ref over there.
That's
Hey,
just
yeah,
so
hey.
yeah.
But he stepped on his feet. There's a headbutt.
Never heard that. Like, you could be known for having.
Hey,
having
shout out to you,
headbutts.
man. You know
You were
changed-
known for headbutts.
Yeah, you changed your whole narrative. It used to be Sean Headbutt Porter. Now it's Sean like get on your ass Porter.
Yeah,
You were
You could be
definitely
known for help for elbows, forearms.
Yeah.
I've never heard you known for stepping on
because
people's feet.
it's one of those things where people keep saying the same thing about
Yeah.
you. Like, who's lying?
Yeah.
But he gets the win, gets the IBF title. Like I said, it wasn't. They were hyping it up a little bit. We talked about their masterful performance. Very one-sided performance.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it masterful by any means.
Yeah.
But I don't think he beats a lot of the guys down. Like Gary Russell's down there. Like I don't see that. But he just gets the win. I told you I'm a big fan. He kind of got directed into boxing by Prince Nassim.
Right.
I'm a fan of.
Right.
He was trained by Brendan Ingram,
Right.
now Dominic Ingram,
Right.
which is
Right.
pretty cool, from Sheffield. Same
Yeah.
place as
Did
Kel.
you know that before the post-fight interview?
Yeah,
I didn't know that
I saw it
before.
beforehand. And
Yeah.
Kel was there. They're both from Sheffield. So
Yeah,
bringing the title back there.
Yeah.
But it was okay. And
How
then
Kel look?
Kel looks good.
Good.
And now there's kind of some rumblings of But now there's some rumblings of Amir Khan, Kell Brook coming back up.
They've been talking about that for years.
Yeah, but now they both seem like because they're also to the point. I think Eddie Hearn mentioned it, where he's like, there's not really a fight for either of them. Like you kind of have to fight each other at this point, and I would like to see it still. I think Amir Khan gets a little bit of a bad rap.
Yeah, he does.
Hey,
He's also training with Bud.
I saw that.
Hey, gonna have Bud ready for Porter.
Out with Bomac, but yeah, he. I think.
What's that about?
I don't know.
What do you think?
You know how people switch up at the end.
But very late in his very late in his career.
Something you should have been done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's still.
It'll be interesting to
he's
see.
still chinny.
And that I think is a little bit of my criticism. I get that to an extent, but like he has some really good wins and he has some like very few losses that are like the Breedis Prescott one is one that's like, okay, like what the hell happened there?
Yeah.
But like he dropped Marcos Maidana. I think that like that's something that like that's that's a serious accomplishment.
That's impressive.
And he just kind of got that stigma. Is he chinny? Absolutely. like is he chinny in the
How's
grand
that
scheme
a
of things?
stigma?
Just because I think then that's all he is.
Oh yeah,
like when, if you walk up,
but
to
it's
somebody
so
in the
hard.
box-
Like we all know it's because we in the boxing world we talk about his speed.
Yeah.
we talk about the fact that he is
but
one
not
of the
enough
fast.
though.
Because
If you go up to
because
50
it ain't
people,
iguess.
I guess. But like
I
if
think
you go up
that-
to 50 boxing fans, you say Amir Khan. Almost all of them will say glass chin, chinny.
Yeah,
Falls down easily, whatever verbiage you want to use.
falls down easy.
I feel like he wasted so much time chasing Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah,
That was
absolutely.
one of his biggest downfalls of his career.
Yeah, but I hope looking back once he's kind of removed, people appreciate him a little bit more.
Yeah.
I'm I feel like I'm coming off.
No. You good.
I just
And I
feel
get
like-
where you coming from.
I
It's just
feel like to an extent, like he.
I
kinda
guess you're
was
right.
tossed
Yeah,
aside, like
it's hard to get past. Like because I go as far back as the amateurs with him.
Yeah.
I watched him literally wash up
He was
Victor
nice.
Ortiz.
He was nice.
think about his hands.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like,
We're 15, 16. So like only thing we know is America.
Yeah.
We know black. We know white. We know Mexican. We know Puerto Rican. We don't know nothing about Cuba.
Yeah.
We don't know nothing about English.
Yeah.
This dude comes over. He's English. Not only that, he's Middle Eastern.
Yeah.
It's like, and then he gets in the ring with Victor Ortiz, who's a returning champion.
Yeah.
So he won the Junior Olympics twice in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, drops everybody's jaw. And ain't nobody want to touch him after that. He's like, go ahead, walk over to the championship of this duel because nobody wants to fight you after what we just saw.
Yeah, I think people just if you're watching this, look at his resume because he did some stuff.
Wins a silver medal in the Olympic
Carson's
Games.
just
you know?
saying, give him a little more.
Just
respect.
give him a
That's
little,
what all Carson's
a little
saying.
bit. Like I'm not saying he's the greatest fighter of all time.
Yeah,
but like
underage at the Olympic Games too. He was like just 17.
Yeah, like beats
at the
Paul,
Olympic
like
Games.
beats a prime Paulie Malignaggi.
Yeah.
Like he really did some stuff.
Yeah, he did.
So I would like to see him and Kel. I think would be fun. But
Hey, Carson, is this a dick move? If I'm somebody, I'll go back and beat up Kel just cause.
no, you know what would be messed up
He
about
said,
it though?
he
is
said,
if he
just
lost.
cause.
But what if hypothetically he lost?
No,
like if Kel Brook's like on his way out, and everyone's like, "Why are you even fighting him?" And then somehow Kel holds his way to another, holds and 1-2's his way to another victory.
Yeah.
But so I think we need to address the fights last night.
Oh man.
So first off, Devin Alexander not successful.
Come on, Devin.
Yeah.
Let your hands go, bro.
Yeah, loses the
He was way better than that guy.
loses the judge. He also said his bicep I think was hurt early on. Whether you
Every
believe that or
every
not,
fight he has an excuse.
very true. But and he also wasn't. I saw some people on Twitter saying he wasn't like in his day. He wasn't like a very exciting like. Oh man, Devin Alexander! I can't wait to see him fight. Like,
nah, he wasn't. But
but
he
he
was
very solid.
Who did he
was
beat?
solid.
Who he beat before Shawn? Somebody good.
So he
They got somebody.
Randall Bailey.
Yeah, he beat Randall Bailey to get the IBF.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, way to pull that one out. Yeah.
Hey, we don't need no Shawn's I tell,
Shout out to
baby.
Zytel, pour something out. But
fight, wipe.
That's hilarious. but yeah, so he loses his comeback. But the fight that took the center stage, worst decision you've ever seen.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
And I saw a lot of people that have been
bad.
covering.
I'm surprised you ain't got no list of judges that you want to call
Nah,
out.
we ain't gonna.
Well, in fairness,
It was all of them.
it was all.
I
of
saw-
them.
I saw,
one
yeah.
one of them very specifically. But
I saw.
She's a knucklehead on every level.
Yeah.
But So here's the thing. When I look at a Rob,
Can't call she respect your elders.
No, she.
Oh, he don't do that.
My man said
He don't do that.
especially her.
If she can't, he said, "Lady, you are a knucklehead."
Oh, 100%. Yeah,
he
feel
would
free.
do that 100%.
She also outside of boxing,
Yeah.
like said some very disrespectful racist stuff. So,
Oh, hold on, what?
recently? Oh yeah, they'll look up her tweets. But the so my thing. So obviously this is the Mykal Fox Maestre fight. My thing with a robbery in boxing is look at who's outraged, because sometimes it'll be one sided or it'll be somebody who has a vested interest, and you're like,
Right.
you're crying robbery, but like I see what you're doing.
Right.
The broadcast on Fox,
Right.
all of them immediately.
Right.
Brian Kenny,
Yeah.
Joe Goose, and Leonard.
Everybody.
They're all like unbelievable. Joe Gooson's like they had a WBA.
Oh, Brian
official
Kenny's
on
still
the
talking about it today.
Yeah,
he don't,
he's hot.
he don't let stuff go. He's still talking about it today.
Marcos Viegas, unofficial score. He had one round to Maestre,
Yeah.
and one of the judges had him winning 10 rounds.
Right.
So if you look at everyone across the board, if
Yeah.
everyone's outraged by a decision,
Yeah.
it's the wrong decision.
Even the guy
And
that
wasn't
won
even
it, he couldn't
close.
believe it. He was like,
wasn't
oh.
even, and it wasn't even close.
Yeah.
It was so bad. Somebody, they were talking about a rematch. They were like, I don't even care to see it because
Who won?
Because he won so decisively,
Right.
But he just didn't get the decision.
Right.
I would never fight for a WBA title ever again.
Hey, let me say this. I'm doing the broadcast, and I mix up the fighters.
Yeah.
The entire first round, I'm looking at red corner,
Oh, God.
thinking that he's blue corner.
Do I remember this?
I don't know if you heard this.
No, I do. I do. I
don't know. I
remember
might
this.
even
We
just
talked
told
about
you
this.
about it. Yeah. I'm looking the whole first round. I'm looking at the red corner, thinking that he's the blue corner, right? Then they show the highlights, and I'm still talking about the red corner like he's blue
Unreal.
corner. Then they show the scores, and I literally said, "Well, I don't know what the judges were looking at. I didn't see it like that." And somehow we figured it out, and we corrected it. And this is what I said. I said, "Well, you know, Kenny, sometimes the judges do the exact same thing. They're looking at the red corner like it's the blue corner."
Okay. The people make mistakes, but that's
here-
not three of them.
And also, let me just throw that completely out the window because they gave.
I was like, that was the judge.
because they gave.
No.
Oh,
Because they gave the second round where Mykal Fox dropped him. They gave Fox that round, so it wasn't there was no mistaken identity. Here, let me talk about. Can we talk about silver linings? At least they gave him the round that he dropped him in.
Right.
Because if they had not somehow given him a 10-8 round on that round, then we would be really talking about something next level. But unbelievable decision.
that's her.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, feel free. We're looking at
That's why.
Feel free. Yeah, look at the tweets.
I'll
Crazy.
say who I
But
thought that was.
yeah. But the
Who it looked like to you?
That's who it is.
yeah.
But look below.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
This fool here.
Okay, because I see him.
Yeah. But the whole everything about it. The judge is married to an executive in the WBA. There's a WBA official in the corner, and just on a general level, it was just a horrible ass decision. Like,
Yeah, it's just a horrible
and it's tough because there's not like
there's no way to fix it.
there's no way to fix it.
no way to fix it.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I was thinking about this today. Didn't they do something similar with Pacquiao Bradley? That they did like an independent thing and they ruled that Pacquiao should have won. It
I don't
doesn't change
remember
anything
that.
on the record.
Yeah, I don't remember
But
that.
I think they did like an independent panel and they were like, "Oh yeah, you guys are idiots."
Yeah.
But yeah, unbelievable decision, and it was a co-main of like an average Saturday fight card.
Mm-hmm.
This shouldn't have been that big of a thing. This should have been a fight where we're like, okay,
And
close
this
fight,
is
whatever.
This is what was that for the WBA?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, why are you pushing this guy? He cannot touch. Oh, my bad. I know that's sensitive. But
No, you know what I think about.
Yeah, and like, why are you pushing? I felt like they wanted him to be the guy.
Yeah, and he only that's his fourth fight.
Yeah, he's
His
ranked fourth in the
professional fight.
WBA.
Like, I get it. Venezuelan Olympian. It was just like he on no planet did he win that fight.
And on
not
no
only
planet
did-
can he touch like the top three in the WBA.
And not only did he not win the fight, he didn't even lose close. He got blown out. He barely won a round. So I'm like,
that's how it goes.
Yeah.
I did when I did the convention, the judge was straight up with everybody in the room. He says, "Don't talk to anybody about the fights that you're assigned." Why? Because if I tell you that I'm assigned to judge Terrence Crawford,
Yeah.
and now all the conversation turns into what Terrence Crawford does.
Yeah.
I didn't tell you who he was fighting. You probably know who he's fighting, but the only conversation, oh man, I finally get to judge a Terrence Crawford fight. The only conversation back to me is about Terrence, and I go to the ring with that. And these judges have to be more careful.
I don't even. I get.
I
what
know.
you're saying.
I know you're like. There's no way.
But I typically there are times where we talk about that and like whether it's stylistically that makes sense. That doesn't make sense in this case. This was like this fighter's winning.
It makes sense because this guy's 4-0. He's an Olympian, and you're expecting him to be
Win.
to be
Against a guy that's not
next.
undefeated.
And so when you
guess.
go to the ring with that, it's like
I typically like. I try to find a way where it's not like a conspiracy or it's not fixed or it's not that.
That would be.
But I guess the way that is phrased, where it's like, oh, conversations, like, oh yeah, I'm kind of expecting like that.
Yeah, I
to
mean,
me-
I brought that into it. Yeah,
well, I get that, but this to me is like, hey,
Cautious
this guy's
just said
winning.
it doesn't make no sense,
Like-
especially all three of them.
Because you watched that fight yesterday, there was no chance on any planet that guy wins that fight.
well, then let me scrape the plate clean.
Yeah,
Even if there was no conversations had, but the judge just goes up to the ring and
Yeah.
and the judge knows that this guy has a loss and this guy is expected to be next. My eyes are geared towards him no matter what, So it's just it's one of them things.
You know what I learned? I seen at the Olympics that I like. First off, I like the stools. I like that.
The way they come
They
in,
just-
come out.
Yeah, I like that. But they should put the
scoring.
the scores up.
Yeah, they do.
No,
Oh,
come
no,
on, in the
they
pros.
talked about that.
They need to start doing
They
that.
talked
Hold
about
you
that.
accountable.
Let
You
me-
might get your ass whooped in the 10th
I was
round.
gonna say, so that was my first thought when you said that. Like, if they put that up there yesterday,
Yeah.
I think something happens in the crowd. I think somebody throws something.
Hey,
at
holds
somebody,
you accountable.
Get hit with a chair. Like,
Holds you accountable.
I think it's WWE. Somebody gets hit with a chair or a crowbar.
Where we at right now? We're in August. Before December, somebody's gonna get hit with a chair. Y'all talk about getting hit with chairs.
Well, we're gonna be the Dudley Boys for
so
Halloween.
much.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So we're gonna hit you.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all hit me.
We putting you through a table.
In October, I'm getting hit with a chair.
Yeah.
We're gonna put him through a table.
I've been hearing this too much lately.
Yeah, I just I don't know. It left such a sour taste in everyone's mouth.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And for everyone to be so mad, and that is like, it's one of those things where people say a certain thing about a sport or a musical artist, Nas, maybe album of the year, King's Disease 2. And
Kanye got something to say about
and
that.
you're kind of like, yeah, I don't like that it's being kind of characterized as that. It's unfair. You're kind of stereotyping it. But boxing, that's the criticism.
Yeah.
And then boxing's like, hey, by the way, we're going to keep doing that. The thing that everyone's mad about.
Yeah.
Because like that fight yesterday, it should have been an easy win for Mykal Fox.
Yep.
Move forward, go to the main event. Life is good. And then I'm not even sure if people watched the main event because I think people were so mad they were like, I'm cutting this off.
Yeah.
Because they're like, this is stupid. Why am I even going to watch this? But main event, no contest.
That's
so
boxing.
it seemed
That's
like a
what you do.
justified end to that fight card.
Yeah.
Stanionis and Collazo. I think Stanionis was going to win comfortably.
Yeah,
But
he's about to put the beats on him.
yeah. But Collazo, always a guy that's game
I
to
don't,
fight.
I don't know if he tapped out last night though.
I'm not mad at him.
yeah, me either.
Like,
You
if
was about
this
to
is
get
your
the
final
beats.
hurrah. You got cut. I'm probably like,
He's about to get the beats last night.
No contest looks a lot better
No
than
Dr.
now.
Dre either.
Yeah,
That Stanionis kid is solid.
he's good.
Yes.
I've been
Yeah.
liking him since I
Yeah, he
started.
gets
commentating.
hit a little too much for my liking at this point in his career.
Yeah.
But I can't be mad at that. But yeah, that fight yesterday, it got ruined. It got like even because here's my thing. I look at a hypothetical. If that Stanionis Collazo fight somehow
I got some
had
good
been like an all-time classic, like,
Yeah.
nobody would have cared.
Yeah.
Nobody would have cared.
Yeah.
They would have been like, oh yeah, by the way, it was a good fight last night. But hey, did you see that robbery of Mykal Fox? And it's tough.
I'm trying to think like what can you do to? There's nothing you can do. There's nothing that can be done.
I have no clue if there needs to be like a complete overhaul of judges, not judging, but like if we need to like really revamp the whole roster right now, figure some stuff out. We've talked about accountability. I think that's a big thing. This one though, I don't even care. Like we talked about in the Charlo Castaño fight, like I really would be curious what Vasquez would say. I don't care what any of those judges had to say yesterday because they would be lying. Like whatever they said, it would be untrue. They would be making it up. But you got it. You're smiling.
Hey, Carson, good news. WBA said they're gonna pull back all these titles.
No, they're not. Yeah, I saw that.
They said that
They
last
did,
night.
yeah.
No, they said it before last night, and then they were like, "Hey, you didn't mean that. Let's just."
He said no. They said it before last night. And then what do we see in the ring?
Oh, and didn't that dude win the WBA interim?
Yeah.
Oh, I am dumb.
He is now actually one of 12 welterweight WBA title holders. Yeah, if I'm Fox, I don't
WBA. I tried.
I don't fight for the WBA title. I don't use the letters W, B, and A ever again in sequence. I just like I feel bad for him because he's not like somebody that was his first loss and he didn't lose his title, but like that's tough. Like you go in there, like think about any of your big wins.
That's on the commission though.
It is, but like think about it like one of your big wins, like you just go in there, you have a great performance, and then they're like, oh yeah, you lost.
Yeah.
And you just are like, well, sorry.
Yeah.
Nothing you can do.
Yeah.
And I think it weighs on him just because I don't know how you like get past it. Because then you're gonna be I'm obviously not a boxer, but
You
like,
feel underappreciated. It makes you not want to do
think
it.
about your next fight. You're winning through 5 rounds. Or you think you are.
Yeah.
Then you're like, but if the judge is going to screw me
Yeah,
again,
that's
like,
what I'm saying.
It has to be in your head, right?
Yeah,
It has
that's
to
what I'm
be.
saying. Like you feel underappreciated.
Do you think it has to be?
Man, after WBA, how did WBA don't even got my man ranked in the top 15?
I agree. I agree with that. I agree with the WBA on this.
My bad, Sean. I don't know if it messes with business for you, but that's why.
No,
Yeah, no, it is what it is.
I would be upset if Shawn fought for the WBA title, but that's aside from
My
the point.
bad, Carson. But I was hot.
And then, what do you think? Like, as far as like, if you're Mykal Fox in your next fight, does that not weigh on you?
Yeah. I'm there. Yeah.
Because I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, oh man, I'm doing really well.
Do I gotta knock this guy out?
If he would have knocked him out and still lost, that would have really sealed the deal.
Wow. Carson is wow.
The judges were probably thankful.
The way
he
he,
didn't, 'cause they're
so
like,
he
"Ooh,
just takes
thank
it
God."
to the extreme. He said that they might as well have given him the
Think
knockout,
about-
but not giving him the
Think
victory.
about how crazy it is, though.
Has that ever happened?
No.
Okay.
I mean, there's like disqualifications. but no.
Okay.
Think about it though before we close on this,
Roy
because
Jones.
this is just stupid. But think about like Marcos Villegas had 1 round to that guy, and on the card that's 117 to 110, he won almost every round.
Yeah.
Like it's just stupid. But we got boxing coming up this week, full slate. Another thing I complained about, full slate of action with 3 different cards, but
He's something else,
He
boy.
on fire today.
I have a lot of complaints. I have a lot of gripes about it.
He that old man, get off my lawn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Get off
he
my
on-
lawn,
he on
guy.
fire today.
Certain stuff fires me up about boxing. But
On
do
fire.
you have a preference? Do any of the 3 of you have a card, your main event you're most intrigued by?
Just wish I knew what was going on.
You got Vergil, Mean Machine.
I'll take my guy Rigondeaux.
You got Rigondeaux, Casimero. Is that the one you're intrigued by?
Yep.
Franco and Maloney, you talk about something else that boxing was an adventure for. But
Yeah.
I hope
That would be a good
I hope
fight.
for Maloney that he continues where he was because he was winning that fight and closed the guy's eye with a punch. But that's maybe the one that I'm the least intrigued by of the other 2. But I don't. Casimero and Rigondeaux, I think, is an interesting matchup.
There are a few fighters that I've kind of written off, and I think Rigondeaux has. I've
Understandably.
I wrote him off.
Yeah, I get it too.
Yeah.
He
So-
also did like, so as you know, I prefer the Lara style, which they both happen to be Cuban in this case, but that Rigondeaux tried to like really reinvent himself because people like thought he was boring. They thought, and it just,
Oh, yeah,
and he just
yeah.
wasn't really suited for him.
Yeah.
So I'll be curious to see what he does against Casimero.
I mean, the prime, because he's not he's no longer in his prime, but prime Rigondeaux
Oh, he's unbelievable.
could stand right in the middle of the ring and somehow lean right out of the way, hit you with
3
a
times.
hit you with a counter, check hook, step around and stay there again.
Yeah.
Wait for you to turn
Yeah.
around. Wait for you to make another move, dip, pop, and then step. I mean, he technician in the ring.
Hey,
back
Sean,
in the day.
I feel like you saying he did this all without getting off his pivot.
Yeah. And that's what made him special.
He was
that front foot
Yeah.
didn't really move. And it was the action was here.
Yeah.
He was smooth.
He was,
but I just don't think he has that type of energy, that type of charisma anymore.
He's
that type of timing.
He's in his 40s, 41 maybe. Like
probably.
Like he's up there.
You know, Cuban.
Yeah. But I mean, I'll be curious. I've on the record said I think Casimero blows him out.
Yeah.
And I think that's because Rigondeaux obviously is older, but I also think he might be in the back of his mind thinking I have to come forward and be a little more aggressive, which I don't think bodes well for him.
You think he's still in that state of mind?
I hope not.
Yeah.
But
I do remember where people like fight after fight, they were saying he was boring. And then,
we don't want to watch
and then
him.
out of nowhere, he's like trying to sit down and not really bang, but just,
I would, as a viewer, I would like to see him prime-ish, prime style Rigondeaux and see if he can, because like in his prime, I think he can beat Casimero easily. I don't even think it would be close in his prime. Mm-hmm. Obviously, it's far from that. Mm-hmm. But I think prime style.
Hey, you can't say that. But look at Pacquiao, 42.
This is very true.
Primes are different.
Look at Nonito Donaire.
Because I was
supposed to be fighting.
I was looking at Devin Alexander and Shawn Porter. They're the same age, and that's two different.
Yeah, very different trajectories from there. But I would like to see him in there being himself because I think that's a really good fight if he is. And I think I'll do a Shawn Porter stock prediction wise. If he goes in there and tries to bang with Casimero, he loses, and I think he loses bad. If he goes in there and is slippery and is defensive, focused and can kind of be what we were used to, I think he could beat him.
Fighters get to a point where they don't want to do what they need to do to get prepared for a fight. And I feel that that's where Rigondeaux is now. Rigondeaux is now where he does just enough to get in the ring and does just enough to be in shape to fight. But the level that we used to see him at, it takes a whole lot more. I think it's just I'm on the outside, way on the outside looking in, and this is how I feel from the performances that I've seen from him is that he doesn't take himself to the level that he used to in training, and then it far from translates in the ring on fight night. Yeah. So
I loved prime Rigondeaux.
When you talk about prime Rigondeaux, you're talking about a 30, 35-year-old who really trained to be the best. And I don't think he's there anymore.
I feel like the way Ant talks about Mikey Garcia is how I talk about Cuban fighters.
All of them.
Like in their prime.
All of them.
White Cuban.
I'm telling you, Lara Gamboa.
He's a white Cuban.
It's a lot of dark ones over there, but there's some light ones.
I know.
Like Lara Gamboa, Rigondeaux, like in their prime, were so fun to watch and so based like on my style, what I like to see. But the other main event is going to be another test for Vergil Ortiz Jr. against the Mean Machine.
It is going to be a test.
Yeah. Shout out to Longest Yard.
Hey, this is gonna piss some people off. Mean Machine dropped Terrence Crawford. Say what you want.
Yeah.
I know you're gonna say, oh well, he's gonna drop your boy. Hey, it is what it is. Hey, drop Terrence Crawford, okay?
Yeah. I think Vergil.
That was a surprise.
I think Bud was surprised.
Yeah. I tell people this all the time. Like,
that was Bud's toughest fight.
It's for the most part, I'm not really invested in who wins a fight, but when it's Terrence or when it's Deontay Wilder,
Dmitry
when it's Boo Boo got it. Like
you waited for him to be third, and you were like, he's like, don't say it first.
When it's Boo Boo, Daniel Jacobs, it's a couple guys out there. It's just like
you went over to England to watch EJ fight.
Yeah,
Kell Brook.
I went because my dad wanted to go.
Oh, but you went. You were there to support him.
Yeah, I was definitely there to support him. I wanted him to win that title, but. Just to go back real quick to this fight when Terrence Crawford fought the Mean Machine, I was like, I'm sitting right next to you. I'm like, I'm talking to him because it was relatively close, but I felt like Terrence was making the fight hard, and I kept looking at you like, yo, what is he doing? What is he doing? And then when he got dropped, I was like, oh, hold on a second. No. I'm like, no, it's not your time yet, And
the
then
ref was like, no, it's not his time. All right,
I heard you, Shawn Porter.
Yeah. And then, he was gifted, to get out of that round. And then he does what he should have did the whole time, which was switch and did the dang thing. You know what I mean? So
Kavaliauskas is somebody that he had like a reputation of he could rock.
Pushing,
He could really he could really hammer with people. So So it'll be interesting.
He's gonna push Vergil.
And
Vergil's got to get defense better.
That was gonna say the one criticism I think all three of us had after his fight with Maurice Hooker was he was getting hit by a lot. And his face was kind of touched up.
Yeah.
Maurice Hooker obviously he wins comfortably and knocks him out. But yeah, I would like to see, which is interesting. Typically, we want to see something offensively. We're like, hey, I want to see him knock somebody out more. I want to see him do this. I really want to see Vergil tighten the defense up.
His defense is his offense. I'm gonna just keep coming.
Yeah.
Just keep coming.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take it.
Yeah.
Because he
Which is
eats it, but
dangerous.
he believes a lot in his power, as he should.
Yeah.
I mean, he
Got
looks
good
to be
power.
a strong kid.
And he believes in his chin until he gets cracked.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it's that he believes in his chin so much as it is he believes
Doesn't
in
care.
his power.
Yeah, he assumes he's gonna knock you
and
out before you knock him
he's
out.
still relatively young,
Sure.
not understanding that the defense is going to matter because it's going to be some guys that's going to be able to take your power and they're going to wear you down. So it'll catch on.
Yeah.
Maybe even this fight we'll
Yeah.
see better defense.
I think
should.
This is we've talked about it almost every show. These young star fighters. He's a star. Just keep taking steps. This is a great step in my opinion.
Great step.
Just,
I agree.
See how you can handle his power because you haven't fought somebody that can really crack like that yet. Show that you still can fire, and I think he wins. I don't think it's life and death in there. I think he wins comfortably, but I'd like to see just the defense tighten up. Anything you need to see other than defense from him?
No, just the defense. I think his punch selection is solid. He's a
Good
solid
body puncher.
He's a
Really
solid
good body
boxer. Good body puncher too. Yeah, he's got some thump. I like everything about Vergil Ortiz. Yeah, I really do. I think we like. You just
I feel
said,
bad
the
comparing
defense.
him to Boots. I do.
I was just about to
It's a
say, we're
part
gonna
of
get
it.
Boots back in the ring.
Yeah, it's a part of it.
He keeps saying that he's gonna come back soon, which I hope he does.
Yeah.
But it's tough because as we're talking about Vergil Ortiz, and we talk about how we hate doing it, but it's just in your mind.
It's a part of
It's
it.
always
I'm
it's
like,
crazy.
I'm like, ain't not as good as Boots.
Yeah,
But
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Boots, I think is.
I think Boots are washing.
I think it was DAZN put out a poll like, hey, who's the best five fighters?
Boots are
under-
washing.
Boots are watching. I said you heard it here first. Boots are watching.
They did.
Vergil Ortiz.
I think it was DAZN did like a top 5 fighters under 25. I can't think of who was on it, but I know who wasn't on it.
Yeah.
It was Boots Ennis.
Oh, Boots wasn't?
Wasn't
Oh,
even in the top
disrespectful.
5. And David
we
Benavidez.
boycotting the zone for that.
Nah, we'll still be tuning in. We'll still be tuning in. But yeah, Boots wasn't on it, and David Benavidez wasn't on it. I was like, yeah, the fact that you don't have either of them is just kind of silly. But I think Boots is good. But I'd like to see Vergil, and I think comparing them is a natural instinct, but it's something that doesn't discredit one for the other, which is sports though. Everyone's like, if I'm like, hey, I like Boots Ennis, you're like, oh, you hate Vergil Ortiz? You think he's garbage? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I just think Boots Ennis is better by a little bit. They're both young. But, so we got some good fights. I think we need to touch on the Canelo situation.
Let's do it.
I'm a little sour on Canelo right now, man.
I was gonna say it's kind of when you touch on it, it's like
But I'm like, so you have these negotiations with Caleb Plant. They obviously fall through. We talked about that last week, and then they kind of pivot to Dmitry Bivol,
yeah.
and then they wanted Bivol at a catch weight, and then they didn't really. It seemed like care to have the fight, and it seems like they almost both agreed again, but then it doesn't happen. And now all of a sudden he doesn't care about fighting on September 18th at all.
Right.
He's gonna fight in November.
Right.
And now it's Caleb Plant again,
Right.
probably.
Right.
I don't know. I just that's kind of what I mentioned with Eddie Hearn commenting on the negotiations a little bit too much. I'm like, just like let these did we ever, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe I missed it. Did we hear any Pacquiao Spence negotiation talk ever? Never.
It just got announced and it happened. Yeah.
And so I think and that's another thing to everyone commenting about you and Bud. They're like, oh, it's awful quiet. Well, I was like, yeah, that's how boxing business should work.
Should work, yeah.
When people talk about it, that's when issues come up.
People said it's awfully quiet.
Yeah, so that's everything. Oh, Porter, his energy really has changed. It's like, yeah, well, the fight isn't officially announced.
Yeah.
Boxing business has to happen.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
So people kind of do both sides of it because they're like, yeah, why they keep talking about Canelo negotiations? I don't want to hear about that. Just make the fight. And then like, man, I don't hear any comment about this negotiation. It's like, wait a second, which one do you want?
Yeah.
But
People want to know the business. They want to know exactly what's going on. And
I'm frustrated with Canelo.
yeah.
Are you?
Yeah, I know you talked about it last week. Like, hey, you're the A side, but like, you don't have to be an ass. Like you don't have to be like that A side.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. And we also didn't.
He stole the Floyd.
Yeah,
Floyd
but
key.
did he though? Because like I don't remember a lot of Floyd negotiations not happening.
Well, I think that's the separation with this is like he understands that I'm where Floyd used to be.
Yeah.
But he doesn't know how to operate like
Floyd.
Floyd. You know what I mean?
Floyd only really worked under his banner.
Yeah, which makes it, of course, makes it easier.
My man going around taxing everybody.
Yeah, but I'm just like, you're clearly the A side in any of these fights. Clearly, I love Caleb Plant. I love him. He's a great guy. He's a great fighter.
You fighting me? You can't sleep in your bed for 30 days.
Yeah, he like squeezing the sponge.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just like, and the issue with the September 18th being the thing, and Zeitel mentioned it last week. He hasn't fought on September 18th since like 2018 or 19. But the negotiations with Plant, one of the big hangups was if Caleb can't fight on the 18th, Canelo still gets to fight on the 18th and receive the same purse because the September 18th means so much. Now you're not even fighting on the 18th. So what the hell was that all about? Was it just hey, I'm Canelo, I'm gonna win all these negotiations? I don't know.
Yeah. And if I'm Caleb, don't turn this into the Amir Khan, Floyd Mayweather. Hey man, keep moving on with your career. You're still young.
Nah,
Don't get stuck
people
in
around him not gonna let that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't get stuck on it too long.
Yeah. They're not gonna let that happen.
And I think if anything, this failed negotiation, somebody pointed out the Bivol negotiations and the Plant negotiations both fall through. Who is the common denominator? Canelo.
Yeah.
So it's like if you were kind of like, and we talked about if you were kind of Canelo side after the Plant fight or negotiations failed, now you can't be like, man, Bivol, he really, it's like, wait a second. It's the same guy in both these negotiations that didn't come through. And why do you want him at a catchweight, Bivol? I don't know.
Stay side, baby.
But what are you proving?
But why?
What are you proving in that case? Like you're testing yourself against one of the best fighters at 175, but not letting him fight at 175. Like,
right.
And that goes back to kind of Floyd. I know like the De La Hoya negotiations. He fought De La Hoya at 54. Pacquiao fought him at 47. Like he got the A side kind of flipped in that case. And I don't know. Boxing business is weird.
Yeah, just like Adrian Broner made Shawn go to 144.
Yeah, which was stupid too.
But
That was
Shawn,
actually impressive though. You
Remember that?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
yeah.
I had a really funny conversation with your dad. I'm not gonna mention, but about that.
About that?
Yeah.
It's when?
Before the fight, clearly. But
My dad was cussing.
no, it was kind of funny, his thinking on it. But it didn't end up coming to fruition what we were talking about.
Okay.
But, yeah, so I don't know.
Thought they was gonna drain me.
No, that was not the angle.
Okay.
And your dad listened, so he'll be fired up.
Cool. Yeah.
It is kind of
All
funny.
right, let it go.
Yeah, let it go. But I'm glad we're getting kind of back into big boxing. Obviously, the Arrow fight coming up in a couple weeks.
Is it possible we can get EJ on?
Yeah. Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, I would like
get
to.
EJ on.
Yeah, I'm down.
No, I'm saying, can you call somebody
Can I
down
call
in
him?
Dallas?
Oh, I
You
don't
stay
have-
in
I don't-
Dallas. He always in Dallas. I love Dallas.
I do like Dallas.
See, he love Dallas and Cubans.
He like the barbecue.
and WBA.
Oh man, yeah.
Look,
Houston-
he like the barbecue.
man, that barbecue in Houston that's something else.
Is it?
Where's the best barbecue in the country?
I would say, but I feel like I'm just
He
jumping on the bandwagon.
That's hard.
Yeah, like
of course
I gotta
it
go
is.
everywhere.
Cause when you ask me that, the first thing I think of is like being 7 years old, going in my backyard, getting the barbecue.
Yeah, you right.
Like
you
you
right.
can't
I
beat
ain't think
that.
about that.
But
Hey,
then
Pops used to kill it.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But then all of a sudden you like, yo, where's the best barbecue?
I've
Like,
never.
I
Seen
can't
your-
say
I've
my
never seen your
backyard.
dad barbecue. Is your dad?
No.
You
With my
never-
dad, nah. His dad probably.
I was just
your
wondering.
dad made it happen.
I was
yeah.
just wondering because I've never seen.
Nah.
Like Kansas City is one that gets mentioned. Memphis, I've never been, but
See, that's the thing, Carson. We
I
gotta
need to
go.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go on the barbecue tour. Just hit,
Barbecue tour?
like Memphis, St. Louis. St. Louis, another one always mentioned.
Hey.
Texas barbecue is
Hey, let this podcast start popping. Me and Carson quit our jobs and go on a food tour.
Barbecue tour. I love there's a lot of barbecue spots in Kansas City. That's the one that sticks out to me. There's a lot of barbecue.
I did go to a
spots
good
there.
one in Kansas City.
Yeah, Kansas City, they throw down with the barbecue.
Are you gotta have barbecue sauce? Or you?
Usually I try to get a feel for what everyone else is doing there, because like if nobody's really going with like the main barbecue sauce, maybe it's gonna dampen the experience a little bit. But Yeah. What's your go-to barbecue? Like you go to a barbecue spot. This is what I'm going in there with my mindset to
My
order.
wife got me on brisket. So I eat brisket.
Brisket's underrated.
Brisket's like the thing now.
Yeah.
I don't know, like it flew under the radar for me for years, and then I'm with her and she talking about brisket all the time. I'm like, what is this brisket you speak of? You know what I mean? Yeah, and it's on point every time.
Because I feel like ribs is you just go in there. Like,
Hey.
you picture barbecue, you picture ribs.
You do.
Beef ribs.
As long as they're not deep fried ribs.
Beef ribs. Hey, don't talk
I
about
almost punched you in the chest.
hey.
I'm not going to mention
no.
I'm not going to mention
The ladies dance.
All right, calm down.
I almost chest punched you. But the
What Ant say? We're going to get some barbecue.
he hyped it up so much.
Some deep fried ribs.
Good to
And
me.
it was after we went to Sky Zone too.
That was good to me.
We played dodgeball at Sky Zone. He's like, afterwards, we're getting these deep fried ribs, and we look. That's one of those where everyone's looking around the table like, yeah, these are garbage.
Hey, that was fire to me.
Listen, and that's the Porter way. We the food. Obviously, when I can do it, we doing food, but
Music.
Sky Zone music. Dodgeball, you know what I mean? Like we some big ass kids.
Hey, we got a new chef lady though. She be holding it down.
Yeah.
She overfeeds us,
That is-
as you
oh
can
my
see.
gosh, yeah,
But
she
she holds it down.
Don't forget, we still trying to figure out all of the ins and outs of trying to make this paintball thing happen with y'all the weekend of Spence Pacquiao. So
You almost said
stay
Spence Porter,
tuned.
didn't you?
I did.
I
Stay
thought it in my
tuned.
head too.
So stay tuned for that. And man, we hopefully y'all can come hang and do it the Porter way.
Yeah.
Hey, and we're watching probably Spence Pacquiao at my house. I asked could y'all come over. My girl said no, get weirdos.
Sorry. So if you consider yourself a weirdo, tough luck. But also to end on, because I mentioned Makami, Pray for Haiti was the album of the year, but Nas really gave him a run for it.
Hey, Kanye coming.
Nah, I'm not listening to that.
Kanye
I'm
coming.
not listening to that shit.
He don't get nobody a chance. Give him a chance,
Nah.
bro.
He's
divorced.
He's burned every bridge imaginable for me. But Nas really did it, man.
I don't give people chances.
I gave him 150 chances, personally and musically. Pissed them all away.
What about we told you to watch Kevin Hart movie? Give him a chance.
Yeah, you got
That's a me issue.
Okay. At least he accepts it.
Yeah, no,
See,
the Kanye thing is
I-
that's a him issue, not a me issue.
Start the music.
Yeah, fire up that King's Disease too.
Well, hey, this is the Porter way. We'll see you next week. God bless. What's up? I'm Showtime Shawn Porter.
I'm Ant. Follow me on IG with 2 T's.
This is the Porter Way Podcast. This is Anthony Brunel, and this is Carson A. Merck. Tell them what to do.
Hey, like, subscribe, comment, follow us on all social media platforms.
Subscribe.
I'm from Louisiana. I'll talk with a B. Let's do it. Let's do it again.
All right, just introduce yourself.
Okay.
And then tell them, and then you tell them what to do.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Porter
You're
Way
here already.
Podcast.
You're already here.
Hey, this is our outro. We're gonna do it how we want to.
I'm Showtime Shawn Porter.
I'm Anthony Brendall.
Carson A. Merck. Like, subscribe, comment.
This is the Porter Way.